How's it going? I'm Mike with Mike and Laura Travel. What we generally do on our channel is we share adventure vlogs of the places that we go and the things you can do while you're there. And after seeing the benefits of sharing the costs and not just the fun stuff you can do when traveling, like to our last place, the French Polynesian island of Moorea, I figured I would share the relevant costs of our trip to South America. We just spent one entire month in Ecuador, traveling to different cities, eating local favorites, and seeking out its adventures. We had to leave out a couple of things due to a mandatory lockdown that took place while we were there. It's lockdown, so on the weekends from Friday until Monday, no one's allowed outside from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. the following Monday. But the truth is, South America is home to some of the most beautiful, diverse landscapes.
I did not know Ecuador was so beautiful. I had no idea.
Friendly people and indigenous markets. Its unique and rich cultural heritage make for a meaningful experience we suggest you have for yourself. But how much does it cost? And what should you expect? When we travel, we generally stay in the places we rent for a longer period of time. This is because there are often large discounts for the weekly and monthly renters, making the travel that we do wildly more affordable and giving us the opportunity to truly experience the area. I'm going to start this off with the cost of housing. I can't tell you everything about the costs of Ecuador, but I can tell you about the places that we stayed. And this is why I'll start with the first place we rented, our long-term Airbnb. 40 minutes south of Ecuador's capital city of Quito is a small hillside village named Uyumbicho. Here we stayed in this 3-bedroom house that was worth every penny, coming in at a cool $1,154 US dollars. That seems like a lot of money, and it is, but you don't have to spend that much to find a nice place to lay your head while you're here. Places here generally go for between $200 and $500 for a month. We were looking for somewhere we could have guests show up and have enough beds for them. My brother and his wife actually got to come out to Ecuador with us and enjoy like 10 days out in Ecuador. So we needed a place that was gonna fit all of us. Just happened to be what we needed. Plus, it was a luxury that we were affording because anywhere else that would have had a place like this, we wouldn't have been able to afford. So we just went for it. Anyways, that leads us to our next city and the cost of a place to stay. Banos, Ecuador. Being the adventure capital of Ecuador, you can imagine Banos sees a lot of tourism. And for as little as $6 to $10 a night, you could find a room at a hostel, or you can do what we did and rent a nightly private Airbnb for an average of $35 a night. Our 3-bedroom apartment we rented was just $48 a night. After about 7 hours, we made it to Banos.
Not 7.
Whatever. It was a long drive, and no one's feeling content just sticking around this wonderful, huge place that we just rented because Banos. Located downtown, it was a super ideal place for us to stay, and with 4 people, it was pretty affordable. If you're looking to stay near the well-known city of Otavalo, we highly suggest you stay here at this quaint hillside cottage. Owned and hosted by Kati and Lionel, this cottage will exceed expectations without breaking the bank.
We made it. Welcome to our house. Well, we're staying here for 2 days. We are in a small town just north of Otavalo, and we just met our host. I think his name is Lionel, like Lionel, and then his wife is Kati, and this is their house.
For just $31 a night, we stayed at this picturesque Airbnb and soaked in its surroundings. They hosted more than just their rental guests though, housing llamas, guinea pigs and rabbits, dogs, ducks, and more. They also provided food produced from their little farm.
Fresh made bread, and everything comes from their land, even the flowers. And then in here, we've got some butter that they made, seriously. And it looks awesome. This looks like honey. This looks like jam, eggs, some yogurt that they made, and then the only thing it looks like that they didn't make was the milk.
That was an awesome spot. Lastly, we got the chance to visit Mindo. Although it rained the entire time, what would you expect from a tropical paradise? Mindo is well known for its surrounding rainforests and butterfly farms, and chocolate tasting, which I'll get to in a little bit. This was our most expensive nightly rental. However, this is also the most resort style rental we took advantage of. For $80 a night, we stayed at the Mindo Coffee Lodge and Spa. There they had a pool, offered massages, and had a cafe. Mindo was a little pricier for us in that way, but again, you can find a nice place elsewhere and spend an average of $60 a night while you're there. And that's not too much if you want to really experience a little luxury while adventuring around Ecuador. Taxis and car rental. Anywhere you'll want to go will probably require one of these options. Taxi, bus, or car rental.
Our first stop is Quito. In Quito, we're meeting our rental car people, and we're gonna drive ourselves out to Mindo.
We did not rent a scooter here like we did on the small island of Maoria because the traffic here can be quite a bit more intense.
We just passed a car that was on fire, and yet the man still was driving.
In fact, if you've never been here or driven in Ecuador traffic, just use your best judgment when deciding to take on the risk of renting your own vehicle. That's all I'm saying. Taxis are a great choice. We got a ride from a local taxi company from the airport when we arrived. For our 45-minute ride, we spent $40. That's actually quite expensive when we would regularly Uber from Quito to Uyumbicho, where we were staying, for around $9 to $13. Uber is way less expensive, but I believe it's considered illegal in most parts of Ecuador. That being said, I have read that it is legal in Quito and Guayaquil. I don't think I said Guayaquil right. How do you say Guayaquil?
Guayaquil.
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 Guayaquil, where we were using the services. Shorter rides in the city of Quito came in at just between like $2 and $4 to get anywhere around the city. Be sure you check the regulations and availability on that before you make your decision doing that. I guess that's the point of what I'm saying there. And don't just go on my word, because who knows. Next option, buses. Another pretty good affordable option for local transportation. The buses here cost just 30 cents to go in between cities. So Uyumbicho, where we were staying, didn't have any very big stores and it didn't have an ATM. So pretty much right off the bat, we learned that we would need to go to Amaguaña, which is the city just next, it's just over. So I would hop on the bus and pay 30 cents to catch a ride over there and 30 cents for the ride back. That's pretty affordable. They also offer rides to Quito from Uyumbicho, and I think that is a $9 bus ride. So buses are pretty affordable, and I think they're a little bit easier to get around on if you speak Spanish well, and so that wasn't exactly easy for me and Laura.
Comprendo español, pero estudié español para 9 años, pero no uso mucho y necesito practicar mucho.
Renting your own car. I'm gonna make only one suggestion here to a highly credible car rental company that we used while we were here. Reba's Car Rental.
If you are in Ecuador, be sure to rent your car from Reba's. They are amazing. Diana and Tatiana and George are all wonderful people, highly recommended and cheap.
I'll put all of the information before and after this, including this, in the description of this video below. For as low as $30 a day, you can rent a small, gas-efficient vehicle that'll get you everywhere. Gas is about $1.89 there right now, so it's pretty affordable to drive your own vehicle or rent one and put the gas in it. They also offer a drop-off service. That does come with a small fee attached to it, but you get the car dropped off at your doorstep, or you can meet them somewhere and they'll bring the car to you. That can really come in handy when you don't have a car to begin with and you're renting one because you need one. On a side note, there's a kilometer, there's a limit, so you'll have to check with the car rental companies that you're gonna rent with, but again, that can range you anywhere between $30 and $75 per day. And you can also check with the car rental company and see if there's a long-term rental discount. Those can always help you out. Adventures! As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we like to share our adventure vlogs of the fun things you can do while in the areas we visit. So I just wanted to share a few of the things we did while in Ecuador and how much you could expect to spend doing those things. 1. Hiking. COTOPAXI National Park. Laura and I are avid hikers, and turns out hiking's not too costly. For a $10 day pass, you can get into this national park and hike, or just drive and enjoy the beauty of the surrounding mountains. For just $2 more, I guess you can even camp there, and we didn't have that opportunity because we didn't have our camping gear with us or anything, but that would still be a lot of fun if you get that chance. And for a cool $10 more, you could actually even rent a bunk. Rent a bunk there in the national park. Renting a bunk is something that people who are going to summit COTOPAXI do, so it's not just something you're gonna want to do. I suppose you could rent the place there for like 20 bucks a night, and that could be a part of housing if you wanted to stay in the national park every day. Maybe you don't. But that was a lot of fun. Hiking in COTOPAXI National Park is something that I would highly suggest you do. The views there are incredible. We got the chance to hike up and summit Rumiñahui, which is a 15,400 foot mountain. I think our peak was 15,480. And that was scary and yet so much fun. Adventure 1 down. 2. The Quito Basilica del Voto Nacional. I hope I said that all right. This is a popular thing to do in Quito, and now we know why. The feeling you get when walking into such an iconic building is one that you will not soon forget. For $3 a person, you can take an afternoon self-guided tour into this massive monument, which represents the consecration of Ecuador to the Sacred Heart. It's quite the pride of this capital city, and the views you can get from the towers of the basilica are worth your time. 3. Canyoning, Banos, Ecuador. 3 hours south of Ecuador's capital city of Quito is Banos, Ecuador. With guiding and rental companies on every corner and in between, it was easy to find a very good company to take us on a guided canyoning tour of the Chimana High Waterfall. Ivaga Tours Sightseeing Tour Company does it all. From bike rental to canyoning, if you want to explore Banos and its surroundings, they can get you there. We went on a 6-hour full day canyoning trip, but they also offer half days as well. A full day canyoning trip costs $90 a person, but they have group rates as well, making our total cost $75 a person, which includes the outfit, all of the safety gear and equipment, transportation to and from, a full meal at the end of your journey, and all of the head cam footage taken by your guides. I thought that was an incredible opportunity to be able to get all the footage from our trip, and I got to use a lot of it in our own video. So if you make videos or you like to share your experiences, then you can do that yourself, and it rocks. Disclaimer, we highly suggest you only attempt this with prior experience and knowledge of rappelling or extreme sports, because though we had a good time doing this, it was also one of the toughest things we've ever done in our entire lives. Number 4, chocolate tasting, Mindo, Ecuador. El Quetzal de Mindo Chocolate Tour. For just $10 a person, you can experience a different side of Ecuador's biodiversity. From bean to bar, El Quetzal will take you through their step-by-step process of making some of the world's finest quality chocolates, starting with tasting fresh cacao fruit and walking you through their mini cacao plantation. A knowledgeable guide will be sure to explain just what makes this chocolate so special, and to end your visit, they let you taste the cacao in every form they produce with its unique and historical significance. We learned a lot while we were there, and it was definitely one of the best chocolate tastings we've ever done. Speaking of food, my camera died. We're back. Speaking of food, the primarily Spanish-speaking country of Ecuador threw me for a loop. For some reason in my half Mexican brain, I thought that they would be serving Mexican-style foods like tortillas, burritos, nachos, or tacos. I was wrong. Ecuador serves up a special style of Ecuadorian food, foods with fantastic flavor profile and made with love from the people and for the people. We were suggested to try a few different things, and frittadas was at the top of our list. Frittadas is a plate overloaded with pork, potatoes, plantain, and a form of pico and some corn. Delicious. Oh my God, so good. Depending on where you get it from. For between $2 and $4, you can get this local favorite. From fish dishes to empanadas, the diversity of foods you can get here is awesome. Eating out is very affordable here, especially from the street vendors with meals ranging from $2 to $5. Eating at restaurants was a little more pricey, as you would expect from a restaurant with overhead costs of employees and rental and all those things, but nothing crazy. I would probably suggest expecting to spend about $6 to $15 per person if you're gonna eat out at a popular restaurant. There is a 12% tax and a 10% service charge already applied to the bill at most hotels and restaurants, so you know, you're already tipping, and if you wanna add extra gratuity, you should. But at cheaper establishments, including street vendors, you just tip them directly. And let me just tell you, because I got it, a tip goes a long way in Ecuador. They're not money hungry and hustling just to get your dollar, but that tip, it goes a long way, and it really felt like it was special when you gave someone an extra dollar for the meal that you just bought for two. Do it. Feel good about yourself. Feel good. Do it. We often make our meals at home, and one of the best ingredients ever is fresh, organic produce. If you're going to Ecuador, find your produce at a small shop to support local and eat fresh. That's a pro tip, because this is ultimately gonna save you some money and have the food you eat while you're there be the best tasting food you've ever had. I can't even break down the costs of the individual vegetable or the individual fruit, because it was very cheap. It was cheap.
I just got out of that vegetable shop with all of those vegetables for $4.15. That's the way this place does.
It's all affordable and it's all good. Drinking tips. Don't drink the water. That's the first tip. I think that was important. Next, drink their domestic beers. For like $1.50, you can get a 1 liter of their local beers. They're just fine. They're good beers, but especially from little local shops, they sell beer at costs, really. A fun little tip about that as well is that most places there in Ecuador will be recycling. They'll open the bottle for you. If they know you're gonna bring it back, they'll charge you less for the bottle because they're gonna get their bottle back. That's pretty important information, and I remember getting stuck by one of the shop owners. We had bought a bottle of Coca-Cola. She took the lid for us and asked if we would bring back the bottle, and Laura understood it later. Anyways, that's something you can try and do for your local shops as well. Recycling is a big deal there. Save the earth. Liquor and wines were also very affordable. I guess the point is that Ecuador was affordable, beautiful, and amazing. This was my take from our visit. We are not experts on the area whatsoever, but this is what we experienced while we were there. This is the type of informationally packed video we want to make for every place that we visit. If you appreciate anything that our channel does, feel free to stick around and watch another video and/or subscribe to our channel to watch future videos that you're gonna love. Thanks for watching. We hope to have you back. How's it going? I'm Mike with Mike and Laura Travel. And how's it going? I'm Mike with Mike and Laura Travel. How's it going? If you don't recognize me, I'm Mike with Mike and Laura Travel. And with Mike and Laura Travel. Try this one more again.